Hello, welcome to Make Boss Capital channel. My name is Michael. I'm here with Sunil, and this is the week ending April 5th, 2024, and we're gonna talk about the stock market in general, and then some stocks near the end. This week we have a full week of trading, and the market has gone under pressure. So that's the big thing. So we'll talk about this 50% retracement on Friday from Thursday's drop. So that's also quite important. So Monday we have the PCE. Oh no, this is from a week ago. Sorry. Yeah, so on last Friday, because it was a holiday, the PC came out and advanced 0.3% meeting forecast. But the annual rate also came in at 2.8%, which is also same as estimate, and down from January's 2.9%. And the PMI came in at 51.9 versus 52.5. And also the Institute of Supply Management have a reading of 50.3, which topped the 48. So January over 50 indicate expansion, which it is. So that's a good sign. Tuesday, the 10-year Treasury yield spiked to year's high, and it jumped to 4.36 at that moment. Volume was higher on that New York Stock Exchange. Breadth was poor, with decliners outnumbering 3-1. The advanced decline line at that moment for both Nasdaq and NYSE remained just above the 10-day moving average. So it's not real, it's kind of holding on. And then the distributed days have been adding up. So that day S&P dropped 0.7% in higher volume, and so that gave it a distribution day. GE has a 5-4 split on Wednesday. On Thursday was the afternoon we had a sell-off, and but that day Google has a rumor to buy HubSpot. So HubSpot is kind of moving a little bit. ServiceNow is near a flat base entry. Salesforce reversed lower because of the HubSpot news. They're kind of competitor in some ways, I think. Nvidia also fell below a key level, but still within the range. AMD suffered major losses. Yeah, so the major stock index reversed sharply lower Thursday and broke a long level of support. And it gave up solid gains in the afternoon tumble. And yeah, so the Dow Jones was up 0.8 and then actually ended up with a 1.4% by the end of the day. S&P was up 0.9 and 1.2 earlier on, and then ended up down 1.2 and 1.4. So you can see the range was pretty big, almost 2.6% if you add them up. So it was the worst reversal since July 27 last year, and small cap lost 1.1% also in the bearish reversal. Volume rose on both exchanges, so it gives new distribution days, and this is getting really heavy now. 8 on the Nasdaq and 7 on the S&P. During Thursday's action, both Nasdaq and S&P broke below 21-day moving average. The Dow also lost support at the 21-day and closed below 50-day moving average for the first time since November 2nd. So these are all very bearish technical signs. On Friday, the job numbers came out, 303,000 jobs, really strong compared to estimate only 200. And the unemployment rate ticked lower to 3.8%. And then there's just slight revision in February number to 270 from 275. So the IBD mentioned 2 distribution days, Tuesday and Thursday. So again, very significant. We have 8 on the Nasdaq and 7 on S&P now. And also on Thursday, IBD changed their market signal to uptrend under pressure now. So on the accumulation distribution side, you can see the whole week we just continue to see more distribution. You know, there is some accumulation, so that's interesting as well. And then on Friday, it almost even. Like the numbers are pretty close to even. So even Friday it was an up day, but you know, overall we're still seeing quite a bit of distribution. And then on the sector side, like you can see, tech didn't do well this whole week. Retails didn't do well. Industrials are more like, you know, it's more near flat. Like, yeah. Health also didn't do that well. And then financial also didn't do that well. The only sector that did well this week is commodities or energy related stuff, which is very strong numbers. Yeah, so we'll look at that as well. Yeah. So this coming week, you know, we're gonna see more macro stuff, right? So CPI data is gonna come out on Wednesday. It's seen rising 0.4% on the month. PPI on Thursday. And then also on Wednesday, we also have the Fed meeting minutes coming out. And some people want to see what they think of the quantitative tightening, whether they will also move it down from 60 to 30. Not sure. And then this coming week is basically the start of the earnings season with the banks. So like JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Citigroup on Friday, as well as BlackRock and State Street on the asset management side. So this is the Nasdaq index. Thursday, it was looking good in the morning because, you know, because you can see like Tuesday was in the distribution day. We can't gap down below the moving average, which was really bad, but it did reverse a little bit by the end of the day. And then it started climbing back above the 10-day, and then Thursday morning everything looked so good. But all of a sudden the reversal came, and look at where it closed, pretty much near the 50-day. And then on Friday we have the bounce. But look at where the bounce closed, right at the 10-day. So if we go to the 15-minute chart, you know, so we can see here. So here's the Tuesday gap down right here. And then it climbs, and everything's starting to look good, but then it fell. You can see it just couldn't come back to the previous high right here. And then look at this sharp drop. There's a lot of selling here, lots. Like, I mean, there's not one uptick in 2 hours, and it's just such a sharp drop. You definitely have to like wonder how like what's causing this selling, even though it wasn't clear. You know, there's a couple suspects. One is, you know, Iran might retaliate. If that happens, we'll probably see you know, pretty sure we'll see oil price jump like crazy. And then we have Feds, you know, kind of doubting the you know, the rate cut, right, in June. So all those things kind of causing turmoil in the market, and you know, probably, I'm just guessing, probably this kind of drop is related to algorithm, trading, and so what that's telling me is that the buyers are not there anymore, right? To cause this kind of drop. So there's no like big buyers left. There's some smaller buyers come in the next day, but the big buyers might be gone because these are like probably stop loss, kind of like there's all these stops, right? But there's no buyers coming in, not enough buyers. That's what happened. So again, I don't know, but it just looks like the market has been like really weak. You can see like it just couldn't. This level around here is kind of really weak. Like every time it bounces, it just keep getting pushed back, and they keep making new lows. You see, keep making new lows, right? So this last 2 weeks actions has been very telltale sign in terms of like, what the market is doing. So again, the Friday, like it shouldn't have gone back down, right? Near the last hour or two. Like this is the 50, like, because you take the top here and the low here, and you take the 50% retracement. It's around here, and it pretty much didn't make much movement, right? So the 50% retracement rule, like Mike Webster from IBA keep talking about it on Friday. Basically, if you have a sharp drop day like this, it's normal for it to bounce back 50%. What that's telling us is that you draw a trend line right now. This is what the trend looks like, which is going down, and it's normal for whether a stock or index to bounce back 50% of the retracement of the whole range, but this is still signifying a short-term downtrend. So Monday will be a telltale sign whether it can bounce back above or not. That will be the key. So, but at this moment you have to assume it's bearish until proven otherwise, because this drop is significant. So that's kind of like the take right now. No one knows, right, what's going to happen, but the only good thing is they found support here, right, of 50-day. But because we're so close to it, it doesn't surprise me, right? Like Monday it continues selling again, and we finally drop below 50-day. So that is something to watch out for. I mean, here, look at this one here, right? Like when was this? Yeah, last year, right? Before the drop. You see like the amount above the 200 days is almost the same here, right? Like right here. It's almost the same. So and you see right here, it tried a few times, right? Like 3 times towards the previous high, and it fell, right? And then after that, pretty much people gave up. So here, this is the high right here. You can see we tried twice right here too, and both times just didn't work, right? So that's what we saw on the intraday chart. So very similar pattern. And now you can see the 10-day has started to curve down, and not only that, the 50-day is so close, so it has a much higher risk of breaking the 50-day now. Yeah, much higher chance. Yeah, because it's so close to it. It's not hard to break it. So those are the risks there. And if we look at S&P, very similar, right? This one is yeah, I mean, so this is the 21-day it broke on Thursday. I think Nasdaq did that too, right? So yeah, Nasdaq actually came much closer to 50-day versus S&P. S&P is a stronger index right now. So you can see it's a little bit further away. So yeah, and then if you look at Dow is even worse because it broke the 50-day like on Thursday, right? It broke it. Also, you can see this range like between where it is and 200 days, quite a big gap, right? So it's really extended, right? So I mean, if you go back to weekly, I mean, Dow hasn't really had a strong run. The last time it had a strong run, it was back, after the pandemic, and even then, you can see here that the amount above 200 day is probably pretty close to where it is now. So again, quite extended, and we know stocks are extended for a while now. It's just, it hasn't really broke down yet. So now is the first time we're starting to see, and you see how the 10 days curving down like pretty steep. That's also a really negative sign, right? If we look at Russell, so again, Russell continues to be the one that consistently have, this up and down gyration. I mean, it just keep happening. As much as we thought this last breakout was going to work, and now look at what it's doing, right? It's coming back. Now the good thing is it's not even coming close to the 50-day line, which that's the good thing. Like, it didn't want to come down here this time. Like last time it did, right? But this time it hasn't so far yet. But we're getting very close again to the 50 days. So yeah, so this continued to be the hard one to hold, because it's just so much swing, right? Every time it goes up and then it swing back pretty big. Yeah, it's definitely hard to hold stocks that are in this area. So that's Russell. But overall, like I say, I'm surprised it hasn't touched the 50-day yet. That's the only positive here. But because the 50-day has been the backbone of this Russell trend, you see, it keep finding support here. So the fact that it didn't even touch 50 days so far, I'm quite optimistic about this right now. But the problem is, like I said, it just doesn't go, it just goes up a little bit and comes back down. It's just so hard to hold, right? Like, because your stock will go up a little bit and then come back down, and then it can go up a little bit and then come back down. Like, it's making progress, but overall it's very hard to hold. Like, especially small caps, they're probably more volatile, they swing more. So that's the big challenge there. But but the overall trend is still intact, right? Because you have higher lows. So that's the good thing here. Compared to the other index, it looks, if you kind of like smooth out the line, like, so like I said, the line you can use, like here you can see the green line, 10-day. This is trending up. The 10-day is trending up. You can see that. Same thing with the pink line, which is 21-day. So that's the average, right? So and then even the 50-day, and look at this, right? It kind of, like, even here it kind of flattened a little bit and then it goes again, right? So overall the trend is still really strong, but doesn't mean it won't break it. so if the market go bad next week, it will probably break it. And then people will get all shaken out again, right? Because I'm sure people will put stops around the 50 days. So yeah, it's a tough environment, especially if you're a swing trader. All right, so that's the index. Let's look at MDY, the mid cap. It's very similar. It also pulled back. So this pullback also looks healthy so far. Again, we don't know what's going to happen next week, but, like, let's not assume what's going to happen next week. But if you look at this pattern, it looks like it's just trying to hold as hard as it can. So both Russell and midcap are showing really good signs. So this is the pattern right now. Hopefully it will bounce and continue to make new high. And this is I know like this is tough, but if it does work, because it already felt like kind of pull back twice now. Some people might already give up. They're starting not to believe it, right? Because they keep pulling back if they get shaken out. So the third time could be the big one. And that's my theory right now. My theory is that if the market does rebound, it'll be a strong one. The reason why I say that is because the ones that a lot of people have given up, And so if it does bounce, it's going to be a lot of chasing, and the volume is going to be low. So stock prices always tend to move the most in the last leg of the rally, and we haven't seen that yet. And like I said, this week I start to see that in some of the runners. The ones that are still working, they're running much faster, and that's the sign also of a last leg of a rally. So we could see a very strong last leg, and that will shake out almost all the bears, and then finally it will top. Because right now there's still lots of bears who's trying to short the market. Until that's all gone, the market is not going to go down, right? So that's my thinking. There's my theory that this could happen, and that also will coincide very closely towards the June rate cut, because I think, like, if we have another month of rally, especially a strong one, by mid-May, like the next Fed meeting, I think the next Fed meeting is May 1st. So probably even by May 1st, right? That's when things are going to start to break, and May is generally not a good month. So, yeah, so that's my theory, that we're going to have possibly a good run to end of the month. If it does bounce from here, it's going to be a strong one. So let me go to the Fed meeting here. So the next meeting is May 1st. Yeah. And they're going to have to announce what they're going to do in June, right? So this is why this date is critical. Because I don't think they can, they're going to try hard to not make a decision, but I think they will broadcast either they'll cut or not cut, or at least give a hint. So that's why May 1st will be a big date, in my opinion. And then June, you can see it has dropped down to 50. It was over 65 or even 70 before. Now it has dropped to 50% chance of a rate cut. So it's getting slimmer, right? Getting slimmer. And I'm seeing more and more analysts jumping on the camp that there won't be rate cut. So again, there's some people like this guy, I always forget his name, but anyhow, he's on CNBC all the time, and he said, Jim. He's always saying, it doesn't matter if there's a rate cut. As long as the corporate earnings are good, he thinks that, of course, that aside from inflation actually going back up. But if everything stays stable here, he thinks that, corporate earnings are the key going forward. And just like how the market has rallied the last 2 quarters, it's basically like, hey, as long as it can continue, the economy is still good, and companies still making money, hey, the stocks are going to continue to go up, right? So, but the problem, that's true. I agree with that. But the problem is, consumers are getting weaker, right, as time goes on, because the interest rate is so high. It continues to hurt the consumers, right, in general. And so savings are dwindling, and, people are borrowing more and stuff, because they don't have enough money to pay down their debt or whatever. They're using more money to pay down their debt. So yeah, and some people say they have to cut now, because if they don't, later on it's going to be worse. And so there's both sides of the camp. I don't know who's going to be right or wrong, but that's why the market get nervous, right? Especially we have waited longer and longer, right? Last time, you remember last time, I think it was January, when the Fed all of a sudden decided not to cut in March. We had a big down day, but the market recovered from that, right? But now we're getting closer and closer to the point of maybe if you don't do something, it's gonna break something, something like that, So I don't know. Anyhow, but so far the market has been recently, right, has been more reactive to this news about whether the Fed cut or not. So the fact that the market reacting to it means that it does care about it, right? So it doesn't matter what we think. At the end of the day, it's what the market thinks and how it reacts. And so far, it has been reacting to it. Thursday is a very good example. The other thing that I think is very important is the CPI data coming out next week. Hopefully there's no surprise, but it could be, right? Because like I said, commodity prices has jumped a lot since February. That could really surprise, you know, on the inflation side. So you know, and it hasn't gone down so far in April. It has only gone even more higher. So that could impact the CPI data, right? And even the PPI data too. So we'll see. So I think this week is going to be a very telltale sign. And like I said, we're going to see volatility, I think, either way. But again, coming back to my theory, let's say everything was smooth and everything was stable and everything was as predicted on the CPI and PPI data, the market might rally strong, and it's going to catch everyone off guard again, and this could be the last leg, and that most people wouldn't believe, right? Especially if they got shaken out recently. But with that being said, we'll look at stocks, but the selection of stocks are so limited now, at least for the ones that are really working, and the ones that are more, a lot of them are just choppy, right? Like, I mean, so breakouts aren't working as the way you expect it to. Higher chance of being stopped out and so forth. So that's the Fed. So the GPP Atlanta Fed came out with estimate right now is 2.5%. So it did drop a little bit from 2.8 to 2.5. Overall, it's still healthy. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't drop more from here. You know, yeah, because I think they're expecting around 2.5 to 3% this first quarter. So, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the estimate is, but for the whole quarter. But right now it's showing 2.5%, like, and so. Yeah, so we're going to talk about CPI coming on Wednesday, Fed meeting minutes come out, and then Thursday we have PPI. The grid level on CNN is funny, it has kind of dropped, right? Timeline here, see? So isn't this is how fast, like, you know, this is how fast the market changed. I'm surprised how fast this changed too. Like, people have become more bearish all of a sudden. Not bearish, it's still in the greedy side, but it has dropped a lot. And then we look at AII. Okay, so this is before Thursday's drop, you have to understand. But even before Thursday's drop, it has, you know, the bullish went down. Okay, the bearish almost the same. But the neutral went up, right? So yeah, so more people went from bullish to neutral. So this is even before Thursday's drop. So, yeah. And part of the reason, I think, is because a lot of breakouts not working as expected. So, you know, so that's probably why people are a little bit less bullish now. Yeah. So that's that. The accumulate advanced decline line here. So this is S&P, and you can see it has topped more than a week ago, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, like 6 sessions ago it topped, and now it hasn't gone anywhere like this whole week, which is not a good sign, right? So the breadth is actually weakening. So yes, it has been climbing, like you can see, making newer highs. But now we're starting to make a newer low. Like, I can't tell if it's a newer low, but it's pretty close to that low, previous low. So yeah, so this is not a good sign, right? That's one thing. And you look at tech. They're making new lows right now. D minus, right? On the accumulation distribution. Advanced decline line. They're making a new low right now. So that's another really negative sign. Like, we know the tech hasn't been doing well in terms of breadth, and now it's actually making new lows now. So the selection of stocks is very limited now. It's getting worse. So that's also not good, right? This is the equal weight S&P, and you can see this is very bad, right? We have this uptrend, not only it break the uptrend, it broke the previous low, and now we make a new low. So you know, officially this is in a downtrend cycle now. And look at this downtrend slope, right? It's pretty steep, 45-degree angle. So yeah, so you know, if you do find any stocks to buy, like just be careful, because like this is very negative right now. So the breath is like slowing down big time. And then we look at QQEW, which is the Nasdaq, and you can see, like, you know, like this uptrend broken, and again same thing, right? It broke to new low on Thursday. It did bounce back a little bit. So this one looks slightly, you know, I wouldn't say it's better, but it just looks slightly less painful than S&P. But the slope is still pretty steep. Like, it's not as bad. So, but then the Nasdaq stocks hasn't gone up as much as the S&P. So that also could be the reason why it hasn't. The slope is not as bad. So yeah, but both of them is telling the market basically are now shrinking in terms of breadth. Like obviously you can see, like compared to S&P, it hasn't done as well. You can see the relative strength line, and you can come back to S&P, and you can see like again, but you know, 50 days here, so high chance of hitting the 50-day, right? Go back to Nasdaq. Okay, this one is like already a 50-day, so there's really no defense mechanism after this. Like if it break 120, which is kind of the previous low, if we break that, oh man, it's gonna go down a lot further. So yeah, so this is Nasdaq. So let's see what happens on those. Okay, so the big story this week is the 10-year yield. You see it broke to new high this week, and we've been watching this, and you know, and there you go. Yeah, so now not only it broke to new high, it really are staying up there. You can see the range, right? Like this is the range here. Now it's now become a support level now. You know, 43.50. Now it's like 43.7. Okay, so yeah, so this doesn't look good. And also, like, you know, you can see the pattern here, right? This is the uptrend now. This is the uptrend now. So it's like very, yeah. So this, you know, as long as this keep going up, I don't think the equities will go anywhere further, like in general, right? Of course, you're gonna always find a few stocks that's gonna still go up, but in general, it's gonna be much tougher for a lot of stocks. So that's the 10-year yield, and then, you know, the US dollar also, like, it didn't go down much at all. Like it's kind of stuck in this range, but overall it's still on the uptrend as well. So you know, also not good in general for. And then US oil, this is the big one. Like it just continued to move up. Look at this slope. That's like more than 45-degree almost. Like that's where it's wrong. And this is, you know, the thing about this chart is like this is like a classic cup with handle pattern too. So like, and now we look at this, we are so close to getting near breakout point. I don't know what happens if we break out. Like it's, you know, because oil stocks have run up a lot, just, you know, but this is a big cup. Look at this cup, and then now we have a bigger cup. I don't know if we're gonna have another smaller consolidation. Usually it will build another consolidation, but I don't know. Like we'll see what happens when it breaks out. Whether it's just gonna keep shooting high really fast, and that's, I'm guessing it might. I don't know. Again, that could also be, depends on what the geopolitical things happening in the world. So if it run, you know, attack, then yeah, we're gonna see oil show up big time. And then we also have, like, again, a lot of commodities are just going nuts right now. Like gold, like it's probably the strongest, even stronger than oil. Look at this break. Like, you know, we talk about this breakout here. Look at how strong this breakout is so far. It's just like unbelievable strong. And like this slope is even stronger than the oil one. Like it's crazy. And a little bit extended now. You can see like a little bit extended, but doesn't mean it can't keep going. It's just super strong gold. Yeah, we'll look at a lot. Yeah, we'll look at some of the big caps first. Google is in focus, IBD said, but Tesla tank. So let's let's look at the sector first. SMH. So you can see it's just a sideways pattern, but it did make a little bit new low here. And the 10-day, it's hard to see on your side, probably the green line is starting to slope down, and you can see, like, you know, the highs here. You can see this is the slope right now, and the 10-day is starting to, you know, doesn't mean it can bounce. So we are at a critical juncture. Let's put it this way, because Thursday is the big negative thing. If you get 2 negative in a row, without bouncing, we probably, you know, gonna go down further. And then we have this 50-day line here. So like I said, we're close. Wouldn't be surprised to hit this 50-day. So something to watch out for. And then on the software side, the software also starting to, you know, so this is the previous low. They also make a slightly, like, I'm pretty sure make a slight low here, newer low, 83.26, 83.20, just a slight, very slightly. But again, this is critical level. You can see, like, you know, there's at least 3 points around this 3 lows here made. If we break this again, there's no 50-day line support. This is already below 50-day, so this is the negative. It's below all the moving average right now except the 200-day, and 200-day, you know, is quite far away. So that could be a pretty bad break if it does break. So yeah, so those are the chip and software. So we look at Nvidia, right? And I starting to draw a slope line, downtrend slope line here. So those are, you know, it's been over, like, how many sessions now? 7, 8 sessions, right? And the last time I draw it was this red line here, and you can see it came back. But the problem is it fell, right? It failed to break out, and you know, you can see I even bought into this bounce, and obviously I can stop out. But now, you know, the slope is pretty, again, this time, second time now, like it fell that time, and then now this is now trying to, again, this low right here is very important. If it failed that, then the next support is 50-day, right? Now the stock that probably surprised a lot of people is AMD, and like it was, I don't even know if there's news, but it was down 8% on Thursday, right? So yeah, 8%. So you see, again, same, this is the problem, right? Like, look at all these lows right here. It broke that lows and it dropped big, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, we are at a critical juncture here. If we break the lows, like Nvidia just now, I show you the 3 points. If we break those lows, it's gonna be lots of stops, right? People are sending stops around that level, and when they break, there's no, after that stop is gone, there's no support level no more, right? Unless institutions come in and buy, and they're probably not gonna buy because we are on a downtrend. Like, this is a steep downtrend right now, right? They're gonna let it drop as far as it can, and then once the selling is done, all the panic selling is done, then they will buy, right? So this is, like I said, this is very critical now, and AMD has proven this can happen easily. So this guy looks like it's, you know, it's probably going to be a little bit of bounce because, like, it dropped so fast. But again, the trend line is very important. ARM, look at ARM, right? Again, same thing here. It broke back above the trend line, but look at where it closed, right? And I got sucker into that one, and that's why sometimes, especially during a downtrend market, even if you are really optimistic about buying into stock, don't buy during intraday if possible, or at least spread it out, right? Like, buy some in the morning and buy some later, because what happens is, like, in the downtrend market, a lot of time it will tempt you to buy into it on the, you know, breakout or breaking the downtrend, and you think, oh, it's going to bounce back now, but actually it didn't, right? Because it couldn't close weak. So this was a trap, right? So yeah, so especially in a downtrend market, I'm trying hard not to buy during the day, buy in the last hour or something, see how it goes, because if it's going to work, it's going to work. But you can see in this case, both days are closing below the trend line. So this one also looked pretty bad. It has come to 50-day. Everyone's like saying, watch how it behaves. This is a very critical point right here. Again, if it break, there's no more support after that. So like, I don't think it'll come back to the previous buy point. Probably somewhere like halfway is doable. We'll just look at, I haven't looked at this stock in a while, SMCI. Well, this one, again, similar. You can see the downtrend line is forming. It's not as steep, but it's happening. So yeah, watch out for that too. 50 days coming up. It hasn't break 50-day ever, so if it breaks 50-day, it can be bad. So, but right now it's you can see the volume is really low. So it might be good if we can survive. Again, we don't know what's gonna happen next week. I think it will be a very critical week next week, where market will head. So that is the chips. Yeah, let's go to software. Microsoft, you know, so it's probably hard. Let's go to weekly. So we have this really tight, let me get my trend line. Right here, this base right here, flat base. It didn't draw it on the IBD2, but it's a flat base. And it bounced above the flat base, and then it kind of pulled back slightly on the weekly chart. And it's trading really tight. Like, this is really, really tight trading. And then here, same thing, right? Really tight trading. Very good sign. I like this. Like, this is very healthy. You see this tight trading right here, and then once it breaks out, you know, it's pretty clean. But right now, because the market is under so much turbulence, I don't know. Like, but I do see the strength in this chart. But I don't know if it'll work, right? Like, it might continue to gyrate. But it's looking very strong. Google. So this one, you know, we had this really sharp V-shaped bounce. You can see it's trying to come out, but it fell, right? It fell right here. Right now, it's holding on to near the 10-day, very strong. It's you know, it fell below 10-day on Thursday. And then on Friday, you can see it tried to come back above the 10-day. So it's looking really strong. It's setting up right now. And then also the relative strength. You can see the relative strength line is pretty strong. So yeah, so Microsoft, Google looks healthy. You can see that even on the weekly chart, you can see the tight pattern, blue area drawn. So tight area. So that's also very healthy, meaning, you know, someone's holding this big time. They don't want to sell. Or at least someone's buying every time it drops. So that's why you see that tight area. Very healthy. So that's very interesting, right? We have Microsoft, we have Google setting up. And the big news was Meta this week. I think Friday, yeah, yesterday. So again, we have this, you know, run up here from the last base. And here we're starting to see this consolidation. Very short, like I think 4 weeks. And then it broke out on yesterday. So this is the consolidation here, very short. But it's very tight. Looks really nice. Relative strength hit new high. And Thursday it broke out, but it kind of fall back because of the market. But then Friday look it fall through. So Meta is definitely leading right now because it broke out and is at new high. So again, so we have Microsoft, Google, Meta setting up very nicely. Yeah. And then we have Amazon. So this, you know, so this is also very tight. Like, you know, this is even harder to tell is a base. It's not really a base. It's like more of a really tight, like maybe 3 weeks here. 3 weeks here. And then it came out. And even when it came out, it was like really slow. It just kept riding the 10-day. Look at how tight this action is. So notice all the big caps that we just mentioned, right? The software side, they're all trading so tight, which is a good sign, right? No one wants to let go. And not only that, this one also make new high on Friday. So we have Meta, Amazon making new high, and Microsoft and Google like pretty much setting up to break new high, to go to new high. So that's 4 stocks now, and then the last one, yeah. So those are the AI 5: Microsoft, Nvidia, Google, Amazon. So we have the software all doing really well, and we have Nvidia kind of going sideways right now, and then we have Apple and Tesla. So let's look at those two, because these two are definitely going the opposite. Look at the weekly chart. Again, very bad pattern, L-shaped pattern, very bad. Go the daily chart. It's more clear here, right? So it hasn't done much since this big drop, and again, it could do an L-shaped drop again. Look at Tesla. Very similar, right? Very similar. It's near the lows again. So yeah, it's just yeah, there's just not many good news. I think we continue to get bad news on Tesla's side. So yeah. So again, we talk about this earnings thing. It's starting to slope down quarterly. If they miss this quarter, it's gonna be bad. And they have, you know, they probably will miss. So and then Apple, Apple's slope line on the earnings is flattening mostly, but it did go up a little bit last quarter. Yeah. So, but the stock is not acting really well, like, you know. So I'm not sure, like, if that's a sign that they might miss this quarter, because I think the big guys, they know something, man. I don't think they will unload this stock if they know it's doing well, right? So it looks like they're unloading before the earnings coming out. So I don't know. It's near the lows, see? This is not normal behavior. So, okay, so we're gonna look at stocks now. Like the energy, XLE. So the energy, you know, follow the oil price pattern. So the energy stocks are at new high. You can see that, like, this is XLE. It's not an all-time high, but it's a recent high. So you can see, right? But we're getting close to the all-time high at 100. So that's very interesting. So this is XLE, and I want to show you on, yeah. So this is on the McBoss Capital tool, and we basically look at after Friday where is the accumulation happening, and you can see mining, gold, silver, gems, number 1, 13 stocks there being accumulated. Oil and gas field service, 9 stocks accumulated. Oil and gas integrated, 7. Transport pipeline, 7. U.S. exploration production, 7. Again, mining, metal ores, 5. Energy alternative other, 4. And then there's a retail, consumer product, specialty, building, construction, product miscellaneous, building, heavy construction. So all this, like, you know, building might even be related to oil, I'm not sure. Oil and gas drilling, oil and gas refining, marketing. And then it starts to dwindle, like there's not much accumulation left, like special enterprise in the computer software hubs, you know, semiconductor fabless, food meat products, leisure gaming, leisure travel, aerospace defense. But you can see the energy commodities area is dominating at the top, and mining, right? So those are the big ones. Yeah. So here's the list that I'm tracking right now. So you have Rex in the energy alternative order. You have steel, WS. You have CCJ, mining metal ores. You have WPM, Eagle, mining gold, silver, gems. CRS, steel. AGI, mining gold, silver, gems. CEG, energy alternative. AirRock, oil and gas, machinery. TDW, field services. FTI, machinery. So there's quite a few machineries. Weatherford. And then we have gold. Yeah. So these are the top guys, and these are, you know, like on the ranking side, like wise, like this is, I have about close to 200, not quite, stocks on my list, and this is ranking based on performance right now, price performance. So they're all within the top 50. You see that, right? So you can just quickly look at some of them, like Rex, daily chart. So this one like broke out from here, and it's holding really tight. Look at how tight it's holding. The 10-day is catching up. Like, this is unbelievable tight. Like, I can't even believe it. WS. So this one also broke out from the earnings, and it has, it did pull back on that day a lot, and then it did touch this 10-day once, and then it's still above the 10-day. So the 10-day is now catching up. So the slope is very strong, right? 45-degree angle. CCJ. This is uranium right here. So this one is building a nice cup. So it's again, the slope is really strong. Like, all these ones are like moving really fast. So here's a couple of gold stocks, WPM, silver and gold. Again, it's ready to break out. Like, look at this. It doesn't want to pull back much. EGO, Eldorado Gold. Look at this. Breakout. Like, this slope is insane. Like, this is almost 60-degree angle. Yeah, it's just, look at this blue. Like, it's just constantly moving up, like holding the 10-day. So that's that one. AGI is another gold, Alamo Gold. So all the gold one definitely doing really, really well. Like, that's much stronger than even energy, I think. Yeah. So that's this one is steel. So steel is also moving. It just started moving this week. You can see the breakout right here. Again, doesn't want to give up much. Very strong. Yeah, very strong. CEG is energy alternative, natural gas, renewable energy. So this one, again, look at the 10-day holding right here. Look at the 10-day holding right here. So this was a stock that I had to buy back because they had this one drop here. It was shaken out and then it bounced back, and then I had to buy it back. But that was the only stock I got shaken out this week from this area. A-Rock. I like this name because not many people talk about this name, but I like the pattern too. Like, this is a nice. Look at this base. It's a base on base pattern, and now even this one, it broke up, but it like kind of goes sideways, and then now it's finally taken off. Finally it took off. And then my all-time favorite, Tidewater. Look at Tidewater. This is just really nice. It's starting to accelerate now. So then we have Weatherford. Also a good one. Same, very similar pattern. You can see the upward channel. Like, it even went above the upward channel line a little bit here, and then it pulled back a little bit. So, but these are, all theme plays. So as long as the oil prices keep going up, these are probably gonna work, right? So, yeah, it's just falling. FTI. Yeah, FTI. This is one of my favorite too. It just worked nicely when it breaks out. Like, it trades really tight. You can see how tight it trades. It's easy to hold, right? So it broke out right here, and you can see it obeyed the 10-day very nicely. These are my favorite type of stocks, when it just holds the 10-day, doesn't even test the 10-day much. So easy to hold. So yeah, and then there's, I think CLF is the other one. Last one, CLF, also steel. So the steel, like I said, all broke out this week. Or this one broke out last week. This one didn't move this much this week. That's why it's near the bottom of the list. But yeah, but it's still pretty nice. Again, it's waiting for the 10-day to catch up, right? So, but it's trading so tight. Like, that's how amazing. Look at the selling volume this week. Like, much lower, right? Okay, so yeah, it's just insane. Like like energy and oil and gas and gold is like really the dominant ones. And steel now, like I said, steel is starting to show its strength too. So that's the the sector that's doing well this week. Let me go back to my right. So we saw there's AEM. I don't have AEM gold, right? So there's all this gold stocks here, field services, right? Like Tidewater, sorry. And then there's this, like this one was showcased. Shell was showcased this week on IBD. Let's look at the chart. Wow, look at this. This is a nice breakout. Like, look at this. Look at how many days it's blue. Holy smokes! Like, it's insane. That's Shell, ExxonMobil, Transport Pipeline. We have yeah, like I had LPG, but I got shaken out. Let's take a quick look at LPG. Yeah, it kind of fell back a little bit more than I wanted to, but and it's also low in the base, so it's not, relative strength is not as strong. Anyhow, I took a stab at it, but it didn't work. Yeah, then you have U.S. exploration, metal mine. So CCJ, we look at copper doing well. Yeah, so I don't know any copper stocks, but like if you look at copper itself, it's also really strong. This is the copper chart, ETF. Like look at how strong the slope is. It's crazy. Yeah, so like FCX is I think FCX, right? They have copper right here, copper. Look at this chart. I mean, this is incredible. And then SCCO is another one. Like I hear a lot of analysts talk about SCCO on CNBC. Let's look at this. This is like 10. Didn't even touch the 10-day. Not even once. Didn't even touch it once. Not even come close to it actually. And then we have energy alternative, also doing okay. I don't own any of this. The only one is CEG that I have. Yeah, and then you have this pot stocks. All these pot stocks. I don't really follow pot stocks because their earnings are not that good. But I think they moved this early this week, right? Because of the Germany legalization.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're all moving. But you can see they kind of fallen back since the first 2 days of the week. But they did move. Again, it's move on news, but I don't know if it will last, right? That's the only problem. Because the earnings are so bad on those guys. Building, I don't have this one. Road is on my list, but I don't have it either. I just watch it. Road. Yeah, Road is pretty near the top. Like a lot of these stocks are extended. We'll see more of it in a second, but they were extended. That's the only problem. Oil and gas drilling. Yeah, I don't have any of this drilling stuff. Refining, marketing. Yeah, I don't have those either. Okay, so the only tech stock here that show up on this list is Hubs. Let's look at Hubs quickly. So Google wants to buy Hubs. I mean, we're not sure if it's true, but that's the rumor. And the chart is telling me it is really good, right? So we have this rumor, and they broke out on that rumor. It's a big move. Like, I mean, this is a big range. It's still a 5% up that day. And then the next day, it kind of followed through. That's what I like, right? Like, whenever, like, the first day, you don't know if it's real or not real, but the second day, it kind of followed through. But it did close at the bottom of the range, so, but still, it still followed through though, right? So, we'll see. But I don't know. We'll see. The problem with rumors is that it could also, if it's not true, it can go down fast too. So So yeah, watch out for that. Semiconductor fabless, I don't watch the stocks. Food meat products, Vital is one that I really regret not buying when they break out. Yeah, like this has been trading so tight. Look at this tightness. And you know, and again, same thing. It never really touched the 10-day, and then it bounced. And look how fast it come back to the upper channel line again. It's just insane. This stock also doing really well. Leisure gaming, I don't have those. Okay, so leisure travel, I do have T-Com. This is a Chinese stock, I believe. Yeah, Chinese one. It broke out. It broke out right here, but it fell, and then it built a nice, you know, a kind of flat base. And then this time it broke out. It looks really good. Like right now, so far, you can see the 10-day moving up, but look at where this stock. It doesn't want to come down to the 10-day. So those are always good signs of, you know, the potential those stocks could run fast. So this is a good technical chart. WWD in the aerospace defense, also looking okay. Let's see. Yeah, so this one broke out right here. Again, it's a slow start, but now it's starting to move. So, yeah. Okay. Let's go to each group. We pretty much look at commodities already, so we're just gonna look at technology now. So the technology, like I have lots of technology stocks on the list, but the problem is a lot of them are not doing well. Like, you know, Nvidia is near the bottom, Hypnosis at the bottom, Cyber, Crowd, all these leaders are at the Workday, Monday, Shopify, Palantir, Duolingo, AMD at the bottom. Even IoT has come back down. So, like, all these leaders are near the bottom of the list. Okay, let's look at what's at the top of the list. So, Micron is still going. So, let's see how it's doing. So, this is another chip stock. It's still going. Again, very strong since it broke out right here. I didn't buy it. So, I missed this run. Very strong. So, here's the upper channel line. And the 10-day is kind of the lower channel line. And again, very strong so far. Like, it doesn't look like it wants to come to 10-day, right? So, because otherwise Friday it would close near that line, but it didn't want to. It closed near the top of the range. So really strong. Number one stock on my list on tech side. Spotify really came out. They announced some good pricing. They're gonna increase their prices and so forth. Market really liked that news, and it just took off. And this one, again, is really extended now, but I don't know. So it originally broke out from this base right here, ran not that fast, but it still ran. And then recently, look at this tightness on this selling, and then look at the volume on the selling. Look at that. It like kind of dry up right here. Like even this one, this lowest bar, it's a selling day. And then the volume started to pick up, and all on the blue side, right? See right here? And then the news came out this week on the, again, I don't know if it's just that news. All I heard is the pricing increase, that they're doing well and they can increase their prices, and then the market really bought into it. So it's 3 days run now, moving so fast. I don't, like, it does look like the, definitely out of the channel line now. Definitely. So now, the top is near, I would say. And yeah, so again, my theory is correct in terms of, like, if we could possibly have the last leg, then it could run wild, like, that's what I'm saying, this next week or two. But this is also like near an all-time high. Let's look at it. Yeah, look at this. Look at this monthly chart. This is insane. Not many stocks does this. This is definitely one that so far has proven that it can probably reach the previous high. I mean, this is a significant drop, significant, but this is coming back all the way. So yeah, Spotify. I mean, it kind of reminds me of Uber. Let's go look at Uber. Yeah, see, Uber did that too, right? V-shape. It bounced back, and this one make new high already. So go back to daily. Right now, it's like doing what all the other software guys doing. Even though this is not, well, it is kind of software, but yeah, it's just building this sideways consolidation. 50-day has caught up. This stock has hold a lot better than many other stocks. But again, this 50-day lines can be so critical, and so if it breaks that, then who knows how much it'll correct. And this is the widest gap, right, on the 200-day in a long time. So that's Uber. GCT, very volatile stock. I think everybody on IBD Live is like, I can't trade that stock. This is like super volatile. Now, it built this. It dropped recently pretty hard, really hard, really fast. In like, I don't know what, less than 10 sessions, it dropped a lot, and probably more than 50, almost 50%. And then now it bounced so strong, and yeah, I took a jab at this, and so far it's been working. And look at, let me clear this again. Look at where the 10-day is right here. I draw the 10-day line right here. Look at where it is right now. Like Friday is again, very good sign, right? It could have come down here, but it didn't want to. So very good sign, very good sign. So I'm not saying this will break out, but I'm saying at least right now it looks like it wants to continue higher. So also, third on my list, ACMR, doing really well. This is another chip stock. I don't know if many people talk about this one. I've heard it a couple of times. But yeah, so it broke out on the earnings right here, but it fell back pretty hard. I think a lot of people were shaken out for sure. And now it's tightening. This is where it's starting to tighten. It's still volatile though, right? Because this is not a big cap, right? So it's still very volatile, but it has potential. It has potential. But I mean, this is the chip sector, so usually they move together, right? The chip. So well, watch out for this. If the chip doesn't do well, this is not going to do well. So, but it is working right now so far. It's holding high. NCNO, I got shaken out with this guy. This one is so strong. Like, it's so strong. I can't take a position because it's just so extended. Like, this is upper channel line. It's always prudent to draw upper channel line because you don't want to buy near the high, right? Even though it looks so good, like the time to buy this would have been like right here, this day right here, if you do want to get in at this level. But right now it's like near the top of the channel line. It's hard to, like, I mean, it could break out and go even crazier, but it's just a lot of risk to take because it could easily fall back, and then you take a 7% loss easily. Yeah, but this stock is really strong. This stock is just holding, like, you see, it just doesn't want to go down. Like the RS line just continue to go up, 99, right? The top. It's just so strong. But it's good. It's like really good. Hubs we talk about, Metal we talk about. This is another computer software financial words. NTNX. Like this these guys are doing well right now. NTNX. They're coming back up. So you see this sharp drop right here. Now they're coming back up, right? Same thing to the relative strength line. It's coming back up. Looks really good. Like this is like quite a while, right? Like if you go weekly chart, it's probably, yeah, this is like 5 weeks now. And then you look at GoDaddy. It's like this guy, I don't know. Probably Mark Manuini doesn't hold anymore. I don't know because he tweeted out that he's not really buying into anything, but I don't know if he sold this. But you can see it just doesn't want, it just keep going. This is another Energizer bunny that just keep going. Like this is a really strong slope, had a very small digestion here, and then it just keep going. Look at this, hitting new high. I don't know why GoDaddy, like, because they sell websites and stuff, like, but I see commercials for it, and they're saying something about AI, help people like create websites easily. So that's interesting, right? But look at the monthly chart. Like this is insane. This stock is like a hidden gem. I only heard it because of Mark Minervini. Like I don't even see IB people talk about this much. But this stock is like, you know, really nice slope. You know, it's not like moving fast, but it's also, but that's the nice thing, right? It's kind of easier to hold when it moves at a steady pace. So that's, and then Informatica also starting to come back up. So right here, and you can see like a nice V-shaped little consolidate. Like this is the bigger one. Broke out, but it fell in the sense that it came back down, and then hit the 21-day and bounced back. So maybe this time will work now, because it's shaking out a lot of people here. So that's Informatica. So these are also near the top here. So those guys are coming up. GWRX coin. See, coin is hitting new relative strength low. I mean, this is on a downtrend. So you can set alert here. It's on a downtrend. Now, the first time it did this, it bounced back. Now this is the second time now, right? So if it failed this, I don't know. Again, the problem with like stocks that are trying to rebound right now, if it fell, especially across the lows of the last one, it's going to be very bad, right? So, because people will start to give up. Because they tried once, it failed, and then now this is the second time, if it fell again, it's going to be real bad. So that's the scary part right now for this type, for this stocks. SMC I'm going to talk about. Appfolio is also okay. So these are the ones. PSN, so starting to move. Here you go. So look at how tight this is. I like this guy. Last time it did well, right here. So right now, look at how tight this base is. The only thing I don't like this base is that it's kind of what they call wedging upward. Wedging upward like this, like a little movement only, is sometimes like considered a negative thing, because it just, like usually you want to see like say a round cup base or a flat base, but this is like a wedging up base. It can be like, some people see it as negative. So, but it did break out on Friday, like on this wedge, like, you know. So we'll see. The volume is okay, average. Yeah. So overall, the volume on the base, right, this base right here, is really low, which is a good sign. That's why it's wedging upward probably. And then I don't see any big negative selling here. So that's also another good sign. So overall, this looks more positive than negative. And I don't see many people talk about Parsons. I don't know if they have anything AI related as well. I can't remember. But look at the weekly chart. Look at those, all blue. Blue, 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 blue. Look at this. This could become, like, no one even talk about this stock. But this could be a big winner, right? Look at the 50-day line. That's crazy. 45-degree angle. So yeah, so it's been trading really tight for a while. It hasn't moved. Now it's starting to move, so we'll see. This could work. Now also try to move on Friday. Very similar chart. Not as tight as Parsons, but it's pretty tight too. You can see right here on the weekly chart. But it had a big move yesterday. Like yeah, it was as high as 4%, but it closed at 3.4%. The volume selling is kind of done. You can see right here. That's the good thing about this chart. It's like there's no one to sell. The volume is so low, and then the volume comes in a little bit on Friday, and boom, it came out. But you know, the only problem with this is like this base. You you know, but right now, I like I say, I didn't get into any of this. I want to be more patient because I want to see a clear breakout. But as we saw, the big guys are moving, right? Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, and Google are moving. So this is another big cap. It's not as big as those guys, but it's big, right? 160. So yeah, can't remember how big POS is. Okay, this one is much smaller. Yeah, ANET. Jim Roper really liked this stock. I don't know if he has a position though. But you know, this is definitely an AI theme stock, right? So this is the flat base. It came out, but then it didn't move much. It kind of fell back to the 10-day again. Now it's set, like it's in the trading range. You know, volume is really low. Wow. So could be a good thing, cause yeah, nobody wants to sell, right? So that's a good thing. That's it for the tech ones. Anything else I'm missing?
No, I think it's pretty much go.
Okay. Retail. I won't spend too much time on retail. Oops. I don't know what I did there. Let me go to retail. So yeah, we talk like this is a very small cap food dairy product. It's just it broke out right here, and I didn't buy on the break like the earnings news, but I bought much later, like when it broke out here. But it is moving nicely. You can see like here. Here's the original breakout, and it was really early, and like it was so small, right? Like I don't know if I want to buy it. So I watched, and then it finally like it came all the way up here, and then have this one big day down because it's really extended from the 10-day. And look at that. Look at it since then. It doesn't want to touch the 10-day, right? So, but yeah, this is a small cap. It's definitely number one on the list right now. There's lots of smaller caps that doing well, but it's not on my list. So, but this is probably one of them that's on my list because it has good earnings. Make my trip doing really well. Like, I don't know. I just like every time I look at this, I'm sad because I don't own it. It just keep going, and like again, another Energizer bunny that just keep going. Like Friday, it really make a big move. It could be considered now like extended from the upper channel line. So yeah. So again, I don't know what's gonna happen from here, but it definitely looks like we're getting very close to the top. At least I keep saying that, but then it never happens. So we'll see. So because here it did once already, and then now this is the second time. So that's amazing. Levi, yeah, had good earnings this week. Vital, we talked about Tcom. Dash also doing okay. Dorm doing okay. And then you have some of the leisure traveling ones. Yeah, it's okay. I was checking out Disney. It was doing really well until that one news that broke out this week about the board stuff. I don't know why it react negatively though. Anyhow, yeah, it was doing really well. It has a nice. I thought this was gonna become a leader, but it did. It's kind of pulled back now. So it was moving up so nicely, like this run right here, and then yeah, and then this day the news about the board member stuff really took it down hard, and it hasn't even come back so far. So yeah, so I'm out of that now. Even Wing, some of the restaurant stock this week give back. Wing, because those are doing really well like recently, and then now it give back really fast. Kawa, doing well, and then again, same thing, give back right now. And the problem is like giving back is one thing, but you see the bounce is so weak. It's not good. So yeah, retail, it's KC, Netflix, ALV, and also Uber. Those are all doing better than others. Industrial. I'm really surprised to see a lot of strength in this area this week. Yeah, oops. Let me filter. Chart. These stocks are the one that has crazy chart. Now GNRC, I didn't want to take any new position, but I did take this one because I've learned from history. GNRC, whenever it breaks out or move, it tends to move. I don't know why. Like this was the last time it moved, but so here it's moving right now, and it's breaking out. And Friday is a good follow through day. So I took a position in this, and it's moving really fast, right? You can see, and it's number 1 on the industrial list here. Kalu is another one that has moved. This is smaller cap, and this one has moved really nice too. Right? It just followed the 10-day very nicely. This is metal prop fabrication, aerospace industry, aluminum. That's what they do. So that's kind of metal, right? So it's kind of related to the commodities team. Yeah. So GNRC is power, right? So they do power equipment. GE. Oh man. So GE, did a split. I don't know what was the news, like. That caused, I don't know if it's the split that caused it to drop, but I don't know if the split happened before the drop or after the drop. I can't even remember now. But it was a substantial drop here. But the next day it bounced and make new high. That's when I start to buy in again. I'm like, wow, how can you reverse like that and make new high? So took a position in this, and it's already ran up a lot, just so you know. Like this chart is like already like squished because it's running up so much, but it already ran up a lot, and now it's accelerating like crazy. Look at this slope right now. Yeah. So the GE. Oh yeah, they did this. Okay, not only they did the stock split, but they also split the company. Now I remember. So, yeah. So they split the company, and now this is now GE Aerospace, and then they have like I think health, and I can't remember the last one. But yeah, so they split the company. So this one is now strictly in. It hasn't changed the industry group yet, but this is now in aerospace only. Yeah, this is a big move here. I think it probably can be considered extended now, because of this week's move. But yeah, it could run 1 or 2 more weeks. We'll see. But really strong. VRT, man, this is the ultimate power equipment. Again, even CNBC talked about this on Friday. Like, the power theme can run for a long time because, we are in a revolution with AI, and everything AI related is going to need more power. And so all the power guys are doing well right now, right? All the power equipment guys. There's no shortage on it. Like this just keep every time every time it pulls back, someone comes in and buy it. Every single time. I mean, this is not. Oops, I keep dragging the wrong thing. Sorry. Yeah, right here. This was the last time it came close to 50-day, then 21-day, and then this one didn't even touch the 21, and then bounced back. But Thursday was an ugly reversal day, so I got shaken out of it. We'll see. We'll see if it works. Continue to work or not. But there's a lot. There's this one, VRT, GNRC is the one that just came on board. There is NVT. Yeah. So all those electrical guys. Aeris. This one, Aeris is, it's pollution control, but it's for the oil and gas industry. And so, So it followed the oil move pretty well. And yeah, it's doing really well. Look at the very same thing, right? Doesn't want to touch the 10. Oh, it did touch it here, but after that it didn't touch it again. Nice slope. The upper channel lines like this, so it looks really good. Yeah. Transportation ship. Yeah, this is the only one that in transportation ship. I don't know much about this stock, but it is moving nicely. Look at how tight this right here. And look at this selling volume right here. Low selling volume. Yeah, and this side, halfway, it's 13% right now up from the buy point. So could have some time to go. Like this again, the diversified operation like GE and ETN. This one is another strong runner. You see, this is like it keeps going, right? It's just crazy. So yeah, so this is like GE, pretty much. This one is building maintenance, EME, also really strong. So this one really tight. Look at this tight action, and look at again. It doesn't want to touch the 10-day. Look at this. It doesn't want to touch the 10-day. Yeah. Hawken. This one, Hawkins. Soda chemicals, water treatment. It's trying to come out right now. So, FLS is also another chemical. Oh, this one is no, this is not chemical. This is, yeah, mechanical seals. Okay, this is more probably kind of industrial equipment stuff. So here you go. This one is nicely upslope. Yeah. So those are the guys there. So yeah, the overall these are also very strong. Like you see in the top 50, they're pretty strong. Health very weak this week. I didn't see too much movement. In fact, I got shaken out a lot, like the ones that I have. So I don't have much health left. So Shockwave getting bought out, so that one's doing well. VKTX kind of pulling back a little bit. VCell pulling back a little bit. RDNT is the only one that's kind of that I still have left. So RDNT move up really strong here, pull back, bounce, and now it's trading really tight. So very good action. And look at the volume drying up on the sell side. So we'll see it when volume comes in. Like even Friday, the volume buy is so little, but look at how much it moved. So it's almost near the top. So that looks good. Yeah, NTR and TXCM. So this Lily, I mean, it has a really tight base. So that's a lot of people watching this. So here you go. This is really tight. This is so tight. Like again, look at this tightness right here. The only problem is look at this volume. There's more selling volume than blue volume. That's the only problem I see in this chart. But the tightness is good. So that's the only problem is those red volumes higher. You look at Novartis, right? This one doesn't look as good, but it's also trading really tight. It's now at the 50-day. A lot of people were saying if it bounces off 50-day, they're gonna get in. This is the same problem. See, all the red are much higher volume. So that's the only problem with both this stuff. So yeah, DXCM. More and more people are following this stock. It's because they are trying to get into the obesity drug business as well. So it's holding pretty tight, I would say. So this is the breakout right here, but it hasn't moved, right? That's the only problem. So the overall health stocks hasn't moved as much as I wanted to. So I'm very underweighted on that big time. I only have one stock left in that area. And finally, we have financial. So over the week before, it did really well, the financials, but this week it kind of pulled back quite a bit. So, but let's see how it goes. But there is some strength, like BMA. Number 2 on this list, it's bouncing. This was a nice run right here, and then now it's starting to bounce. So we'll see. Overall, there's a drying up volume right here. That's good. A lot of people like the Dream, what's it called, Dream Finest home. This is home building. Yeah, this is holding really tight. Look at that. It's more volatile though. This is smaller cap. So, but yeah, this is number 1 on the list. Interesting. CRBG, KSPI. This one, every time I look at this stock, I'm like, what the heck is it doing? Look at this guy. Finance credit card payment. It just keep going. I don't know. When is it gonna stop? Yeah, I missed this one. 4, also real estate development. IBD highlight this stock. A little bit higher volume, but there's also lots of buying volume. So overall, it looks okay. It hasn't. We'll see if it moves. It hasn't moved yet. So, yeah. And then we have the insurers. The insurers are kind of taking a break from a week ago. So they're the strongest group by far. So here, breakout. Look at this. Really tight trading. Volume is dwindling down. So that's good news. But it hasn't fallen back much. So this is really good news. So insurers, FNF, MCY. These are all the insurers. Yeah, so look, it's trading really tight. Thursday was an ugly day. MCY. So this one, oh, okay, this one gave back more. Look at that, give back more. Yeah. And then we have the Finance Investment Group, KKR. Yeah, it's bouncing back. Again, volume dwindling on the sell side, so that's good news. QH. So this one is also trying to come back now. Pull back to 10-day. Yeah, so the volume also drying up here. Yeah, Thursday it fell, but it didn't come close to the 10-day, so it looks okay. We have Interactive Brokers. A little bit volatile. Thursday gave up a lot, so I was in it. It looks like it's ready to break out. Like it has this nice run, built this tight base, ready to move, and then it fell on Thursday. So I got shaken out of that one. And that's the problem. A lot of new buys right now is because of the volatility. It's very hard to hold, right? If you have a stop. It's just so volatile, right? A lot of stocks just not gonna work right now. BLX, this one's also holding really tight. Look at how tight this is. Look at the volume right here, drying up. This is foreign banks. This is South America banks. So yeah, this it's looking really good. And then you have the ones that have high relative strengths: SKWD Insurance, APO Finance Investment Management. APO was highlighted by IVD this week. So yeah, so it has came out. Look at how tight this base is. But then there's another shakeout here. So I got shakeout right here. But now it's climbing back again. So a lot of stocks getting shakeout. HIG in the insurance, Ares finance. So these two, right, seems to be the strongest group right now in finance. And then banks foreign is also showing strength. So yeah, those are the three subgroups. That's pretty much it.